Dani from Yoga Within. We're doing Shape Your Buddha this morning. So I guess let's get started. So find a nice comfortable position wherever that is. Maybe it's sitting up, lying down. If you can lie down, start lying down. And then just gently close your eyes. Once you found that position where you feel comfortable and supported, just take a nice full deep breath in and a long letting go exhalation. Again, to notice how your body's feeling this morning. Noticing where your mind is wandering off to. Begin to let that sensation go as you bring your awareness to your breath. Not judging, just noticing as you inhale, does the belly lift? Does the chest lift? Is the breath short or long? With your next breath in, begin to deepen the breath. As you inhale, feel the belly move away from the spine. And as you exhale, allow the belly to relax towards the spine. Continuing to deepen your breath with every inhalation and every exhalation. As you inhale, think about creating length and space in the body. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you don't need to hang on to, both mentally and physically. Not rushing your breath. The next time you get to your exhalation, pause at the bottom of the breath where you feel you don't have any air left. And then slowly begin to inhale to the count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pause. Inhaling. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pause. Exhale one more time, getting rid of all that old stale air and energy. And then this time as you inhale, allow the breath to relax in the body. Feeling it return to what feels comfortable for you today. And just noticing where that is. As we move through our practice this morning, be mindful of the breath. Slowly allowing movement back into the body. The legs are bent, or if you're sitting up, just find your way back onto your back, lying down with the legs extended out along the mat. Taking the arms either out to the side or all the way up above the head. Take a nice big deep breath in and then tighten your body as tight as you possibly can. Tight, tight, tight. Exhale. Relax and release. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhaling to tighten. Tighten the muscles in your face, behind your ears, and exhale. Release. Last time, really make it count. Tighten everything. Tight, 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 tight. And exhale. Completely release. And taking the fingers and just wiggling them. Bringing the hands so they're facing straight up towards the ceiling. Just start making some circles with the wrists. And then notice what direction they're going. If they're going the same direction, or different directions, and then switch. And then noticing if one way was a little bit more clicky than the other, maybe your wrists feel really good today, just noticing. And then shaking them out a little bit, let them come down. And then one knee at a time, bring the knees into the chest, stretch the legs up, and just notice how those hamstrings are feeling today. Maybe it's a day for feet together, feet apart, hands rest down at the sides, and just wiggle your toes. And then press your big toes forward, and then draw them back, and forward, back. And could you wiggle your pinky toes, just your pinky toes? Just noticing, and then wiggle all your toes, and then make some circles with those ankles. And then pause, go the other direction, and now notice, are your ankles going the same way or a different way? And then relax and shake those out a bit. Allow the legs to come back down to the mat, and then stretch those arms all the way up above the head again. Take a big deep breath in, lengthen through the body, pressing the heels out, reaching the fingertips all the way across your mat. Take a big deep breath out as you draw your right knee in towards your chest. Inhale, extend everything back out. Exhale, moving over to that left side. Inhale, exhale, switch sides. Inhaling, extend out, exhale. So keep that movement, keep that breath going, flexing through both feet. And if you're not, could you? And is that extended leg participating, or is it taking a nap and dropping off to the side? I know it's early, but try to keep it awake and working. And then see if you can start to bring the forehead to the knee, keeping the neck and the shoulders safe. So shoulders draw down, elbows draw down. Inhale, extend out, exhale. Chin tucks into chest, shoulders move down the spine. And then see if you can increase that movement and change the breath a bit. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And then pause on the right side and hold here. Draw the shoulders down. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, moving over to the left side, hold. Inhale, take everything back down. And then bring the knees into the chest, or bend the knees and drop the knees from side to side, or hug those knees in and rock from side to side. So notice how that last movement felt in your body. And then ask yourself, okay, was that good? I don't want to do any more. And if that's the answer, repeat that. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next thing. So take your hands and interlace them behind your head. Allow the elbows to go out to the side. Right knee draws in towards the chest. Take a nice big deep breath in here. Left leg lifts up, chin tucks in, and the torso moves up towards the ceiling. So don't think chest to knee or forehead to knee. It's chest up towards the ceiling, elbows out to the side. Okay? Breathe here. Take a nice big deep breath in. Lengthen out through the elbows and through the chest. And then don't hold your breath. Keep breathing. And inhalation lifts you up a little bit higher. And exhalation extends everything like it's reaching out to the side. So keep holding. I didn't forget. Don't worry. Breathe here. Keep going. Smiling. Don't grit the teeth. And then could you wiggle your toes a bit? Breathe. Come up a little higher. And a little higher. And a little bit higher. And come all the way down. Stretch the legs out and then just wiggle them out along the mat. Two sides. So switching over to that left side. Draw that left knee in towards the chest. Lift that right leg off the ground. Take a breath in. And exhale. Come up. Drawing those elbows out towards the side. Breathe here. Lifting up through the chest. Again, making sure that you're not cranking that forehead towards the knee. You're going to create a lot of pressure through the middle of the back. We want a really nice long spine with a gentle curve. Breathe. Lift up a little bit higher. Move those elbows out a little bit wider. Tuck that chin just a little bit. Trying not to create those double chins. Just a nice gentle tuck. Breathe. And then wiggle those toes. And hold, come up a little bit. Move those elbows out to the side. And exhale, come down. Shake those legs out. All right, last one in this position. So right knee bends. Left leg lifts a couple inches off the ground. The option is to keep that left leg on the ground. Take a breath in. Exhale, come up and twist. Inhale, coming back to center. And don't come down as you switch your legs. So left knee in at the chest, right leg slightly off the ground. Elbows move out to the side and twisting opposite elbow to knee. Inhale, back to center. And switch. Switch. And keep switching, alternating, using those legs. Trying not to just take the elbow across your face, trying to actually move that whole torso and breathing. Flex to the feet, and if you can, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Two more to each side. And pause. Allow the arms to come down to the side. Stay still for a second before you start to move around. And find your breath again. Draw the knees up in towards the chest. Rock from side to side. Allow the feet to come back down to the mat. Arms can come out into a T position. Move the feet really nice and wide apart this morning. If you know that's not great for your low back, the feet can be, and feet and knees can be close together. Take a breath in and draw the knees over to the right, and your gaze can go left. Inhale back up. Exhale over to the other side. And one more time to each side. Exhaling, entering the twist. And then as you inhale, coming back to center. Last one. Come back to center. Take your hands and move them down by your sides. Just start to walk those fingertips towards the heels. So they're not going to touch. That'll mean your feet are too close to your sit bones. So just move those feet slightly away, about a foot length away from those sit bones. Walk those fingertips down, and then roll your shoulder blades underneath your body. And then check out what happened to your belly. Mine went way far up and my ribs are flaring. See if you can just gently allow that rib cage to relax back to the ground beneath you. And then start to find that pelvic movement. So there's taking your hand or one hand onto your low belly. Just start to tuck that tailbone under so that low arch in the very low back flattens against the ground. And then release that movement. And then do that 3 more times. Tuck, release, tuck, release, tuck, release. And then finish with that pelvis tucked, that arch flattened out. Take both hands to the ground and then walk them down again. Press into the feet. And then on your next breath out, start to lift your hips up towards the ceiling, coming up into a hip lift. And pause here for a second and make any adjustments you need. If you're feeling pressure in the knees, your heels might be a little too close to your sit bones. And if you're feeling a little bit of pressure in the hamstring, you are likely having your feet too far away from your sit bones. So make any adjustments you need. And then see if you can tuck and roll those shoulders under a little bit more. Don't turn your head to the side in this. I know it's really hard if you're trying to watch what I'm doing. I promise you we're just going to go straight up and down. Okay, so press up through the hips. Draw the chin towards the chest and the chest towards the chin, lifting. And then hold here for a few breaths. Don't hold it. Keep that breath nice and strong. Watch what's going on with the feet. See if you can press into the feet. And if I gave you a block to hold in between your thighs, could you? Think about drawing up again, pressing into the feet. Draw everything up that little bit more. This time as you exhale, send the sit bones towards the heels, creating a really nice long spine as you come down. So your options are to do just that, just the holding one more time. This time we're going to add a little bit more movement. So take those hands, press into the feet, come up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, press up. Again, watching that your knees are not dropping out to the side or collapsing way far in. Lower down. Up, down, up, and down. Connecting with the breath and the movement if you can. If you are feeling dizzy, just make sure you're not holding your breath or stop. Wonderful. Keep going. Nice and strong. Pressing into the hands, not forgetting to use those arms. Wonderful. And then hold up the next time you're up. Breathe here. Lifting. Draw those shoulders underneath. Make any adjustments that you need to the feet and arms. Breathe. Could you take one leg up? Lower it down. Take the other leg up. Lower it down. Switch back to that first leg. Lift it up, but this time, don't let your butt drop. Lift everything up. Lower it down. Lift up. Lower it down. Press through the hips. Press through the hands. Lift up a little bit higher. And then slowly sending those sit bones towards the heels. Relaxing the back down. This time taking the legs, taking the feet together and allowing the knees to drop one to the right and one to the left, allowing the foot soles to come together. Taking the arms straight up in front of you. Grab your right elbow with your left hand and your left elbow with your right hand, making a box shape in front of you. Pressing into the feet, allowing the hips to relax out to the side. Take a nice big deep breath in. Exhale. Drop the elbows all the way over to the left side and your gaze to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, all the way over to the other side. Inhale, center. Exhale. And then just keep following your breath, dropping the elbows from side to side, allowing your gaze to gently move in the opposite direction, noticing how the neck feels, noticing how the shoulders feel. And then pause that movement. Back at center. Take a breath in, lengthen, and as you exhale, start to lower the arms above your head, keeping hold of those elbows though. Dropping the arms down and then moving them back up. And this time as you drop the arms down above the head, noticing what's going on through those shoulder blades, through the tops of the shoulders. Try not to bring the shoulders up and towards the ears. Really think about dropping them down, lengthening through the top of the arm. And then making sure you're not letting your belly lift up. So much to think about. And try that a few more times. If you need to make the grip a little bit wider, absolutely. But the goal is not to get the arms completely flat down on the ground. It's just to start to introduce some movement into those muscles we maybe don't move all that often. And then pause the center. Shake the arms out. Take the hands to the knees, maybe helping them together if you need to. And then bring the knees into the chest. Rock from side to side. And maybe it's a day for you where spinal rocks feel really good. And maybe it's a day for you where you're like, I'm not doing spinal rocks. Then you can rock over to one side and find yourself into a seated position. Otherwise, chin tucks in towards the chest, hands come underneath the knees, and you rock up and down your spine a few times. And try not to keep a flat back. You want that spine as rounded as you possibly can, keeping that low back, upper back safe. And then maybe you can pause in a squat. And do one more. And that way we'll do one more. And then come up into a seated position. All right, and then rock over those hip bones. Take your hands to your knees and just start making some circles with the torso. We were on our backs for a long time, so as we're sitting, just noticing if you're feeling dizzy at all, maybe don't do this. And just sit there and collect your breath. And then pause, go the other way. And now notice, are your sit bones lifting? What's going on? Just noticing. And then pause here. Take a nice big deep breath in. Stretch those arms all the way up. Make nice tight fists. And exhale. Let them go. Inhale. Lift up. Nice tight fist. And exhale. Let them go. Stretch the legs out. Bounce into the backs of the legs. Take a nice big deep breath in. And then come into the forward fold that feels best for you. I really like the slightly wider legs apart. My hamstrings are super tight. So that's not comfortable for you and you have a favorite one, go into that one. Otherwise, knees slightly bent, chest moves to the tops of the legs, and the head is an extension of the spine. So not dropping the head in between the knees, just keeping it lifted slightly. And then play with it a bit. Maybe you can straighten and bend one leg at a time. And then draw your shoulders down. Inhale, lengthen through the top of the head, coming all the way back up. And then cross your ankles the other way. If you remember what way your legs were crossed, it's 7 a.m. I don't remember what way mine were. And then inhale, lift those arms. Bring the palms together and then flip the hands and take the hands down. And then flip the palms, go up. And then back of the hands, lower down. And this time as the hands come up, notice what's going on with the shoulders. See if you can keep them dropping down and moving out of your ears. Flip the palms and move down. And start to notice where that movement's coming from in the shoulders. Lifting up, moving down. Can you feel that movement in the shoulder blades? Last one. Move down, and this time you're gonna pause right at shoulder height. So flex those hands. Imagine that I gave you basketballs to hang onto with each of your hands, and then really hang on to them. Lift, lift, lift through the top of the head. Take a nice big deep breath in, and then as you exhale, move the hands together. Keeping that action going through the hands, don't let it go. Draw the heels of the hands forward and the shoulder blades back and down. Inhale, open. Exhale. Close. Inhale. Really draw those shoulder blades together. Think about squeezing a lemon. And then exhale. Inhale. If you can, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Really focusing and connecting that shoulder blade movement. Start to really become aware of where they're going. What's going on through the arms. Squeezing those shoulder blades together. The arms actually may come back and past the shoulders. That's not the goal, but just notice that might happen. And then see if you can speed that movement up a bit. Keep going, nice and strong. I'm going to talk us through the next move, but keep moving those arms, keep breathing. Our next move is the next time we inhale, our arms move out in a diagonal. Pause, and then exhale. Inhale, exhale. Keep that breath, keep that movement. Remembering if you at all ever feel dizzy, allow the breath and the movement to slow and relax. Keep going, just a few more, and hold both arms up, and make nice tight fists, tighter, 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 and relax. Pause for a second. Notice how the body feels. And then start making circles with those shoulders. And just notice what direction you decided to go first. I didn't tell you which way to go, and that's okay. We're gonna go both ways anyway. And then pause and switch directions. And then notice what way felt easier for you. And notice what's going on through the elbows and through the hands, and then relax down. And then stretch those legs out. Bounce into the knees, and then could you bounce the legs out wide? And then readjust those sit bones, and then bounce them close together, and then wide apart, and then close together, then wide apart, and then pause here with the legs wide. Take a second, readjust those sit bones if you need to. Inhale here, and then exhale. Start to walk those fingertips forward. Breathe here, and then walk those fingertips back a bit. And then take your right hand to that left leg and that left arm straight behind you. Breathe. And then coming back to center, going all the way over to the other side. Lifting. And then back to center. And then taking your hands together, cross your legs. And then stretch them out. And then cross them the other way, stretch them out. Cross, stretch, cross, stretch, cross, stretch, cross, stretch, cross, stretch, cross, stretch, and then pause with them crossed. Start with your left foot and take your right foot and place it right underneath that left knee, so it's on the ground. And then keeping your hands here, you might actually need to use your hands. I won't judge you, I can't see you, so smiling, looking excited about what's coming next. Gently roll back, and then using the pressure in the legs, come to standing without using your arms. Perfect. And then sit back down. And then do that same thing 4 more times on this side. Okay. 3, 4, and one last one. 5, I'm really bad at counting. And we have 2 sides, so sit back down, and 5 times on this side. So start slow, set yourself up. Notice your foundation. So press into those feet, press into the hands, and then rock back. And then stand up and sit back down. Next one. 1, 2, 3, and last one, all the way up, and then shake it out. That is so much easier when there's not a bunch of people grumbling. And then take your left knee in towards the chest. Stretch it down, stretch the arms up, and then switch. And you'll remember we did this one on our backs, so just start to notice how it feels different when you're doing it standing, and also just start to notice how your balance is doing this morning. And then see if you can speed that up, and then start to connect that breath. Faster if you can, nice and strong. Good job. And then see if you can take the hands to the hips and just focus on the legs. Pick it up a little bit faster, and a little faster up. And then stop, hold and pause. Take a nice big deep breath in, lift up. Exhale, come into whatever forward fold feels good for you and what you need right now. So it might be forehead to chin, might be forehead to knees, might be face to the floor, it might be knees bent with your arms supporting you, just moving to where you need to go today. Inhale, coming all the way back up, coming to the top of your mat. Take a nice big deep breath in. Inhale with the arms, lift the gaze. Exhale, Folding forward and bending the knees so the hands can come to the ground. Step back with one foot, back with the other foot. Knees drop down, elbows bend straight back, lower yourself onto the ground. Toes point back, coming up into cobra. Tuck those toes, push back to downward dog. Give yourself a couple breaths here and just noticing how your body's feeling today. So maybe you need to straighten, bend the legs, just noticing. And then press down through both heels. Jump, walk, step, crawl the feet towards the hands. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, hands down. 2 more times. Inhaling, lift arms, lift the gaze. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back to that plank position. Knees drop, toes point back, lower down. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, tuck, push back, downward dog. 2 full deep breaths. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, letting go of whatever it is you don't need to hang on to. Inhale, jump, walk, step, crawl the feet towards the hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Arms down. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands come down, step back to plank. Knees drop, toes point back. Elbows hug the sides. Inhale, up to cobra. Exhale, push back and tuck, downward dog. Breathe here. Last one, downward dog for a little bit, so just notice how the body's feeling. Press equally through both heels, press into the hands. Gaze goes towards the hands as you jump, walk, step, crawl the feet forward. Forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands come down. And then stepping to the front of your mat, I'm just gonna turn to face you so you can actually see what I'm doing. Step the feet so they're about a foot length apart. Shift your weight over to the right side, and then draw those left toes off the ground. And just notice, bringing some movement into the hip. What's going on through the hip there? And then pause. And then could you draw the knee up? And then could you move it out to the side? And then bring it back. But this time, take your hands on your hips and really feel where those hip bones are pointing. When you take the knee out to the side this time, keep the hips facing straight forward. And then watch that you're not sticking your butt out on the right side. Draw it back in. And then draw it back to the center. Draw it out to the side. Draw it in. Draw it out to the side. And then take the arms up. Bend the elbows. Could you draw the knee up a little bit higher to come meet the elbow? And then straighten that leg and straighten the arms. Bend. Up. Bend. Up. And then as you're balancing and trying to figure out this movement, make sure you're not holding the breath. Don't care how you're breathing, just make sure you are. And notice what's going on with that extended leg. Could you keep the foot flexed? Maybe, maybe not. Draw the shoulders down out of the ears. Reaching, and then pause and hold up. So try not to lean, it's not a side bend. Lifting up, nice and tall. Reach through the top of the head, and exhale. Release the arms, release the leg, shake it out. And then take your hands to your hips again. And then just check it out, what's going on. And then could you lift the leg off the ground? And then take it out to the side and bring it back. And this time, keeping those hands on those hips, really notice as you take the leg out to the side, is it moving? Are your hips staying straight ahead? Are they going out to the side? And then bring it back in. And then out, back in, and then out and hold. Arms come up, elbows bend, and then out. Down, out, down, out. And keep going. Flexing through that right foot or whatever leg it happens to be you're on right now. Flex. Watch what's going on through the shoulders. I know balance is hard. Try not to lean over to the side though. Okay? It's not a side bend. It's that knee draws up. Breathe. Don't hold the breath. Flexing. Couple more. And then pause, hold up. Lifting. Lift. 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 And extend out. And release down. Shake everything out. Do one forward fold or one thing that will release your low back. And then shake it out. Come all the way up. Take a nice big step back with your right foot. Left leg is facing forward. Hands come to the hips, and then just play with your stance a bit before we start moving here. So hips face straight ahead. Front knee is in line with that front ankle, and the back heel, really important, it's off the ground. So come right up onto those back right toes. Lift up nice and tall through the top of the head, and then start to bend that back knee. Stand up, straighten both legs. Then bend that back knee. And come up. That front knee will bend just automatically with that back leg. What you don't want to see is leaning forward and overshooting that knee and ankle. Really try to make sure that you are balancing yourself straight up and down, and that it is a down movement, not a forward movement. Okay? Up again. And down. Up. Down. Remembering to breathe. And if you're finding that balance is hard, move your feet wider apart. So out towards the long edges of your mat. Great. And just noticing what's going on through the hips. Could you draw that back hip forward, that front hip back a bit? Breathe. And then pause down here. Hold for a second. Take your hands together, the palms pressing in. Twist towards that front knee. So it's a closed twist, not an open one. Yeah. There you go. Lift up to the top of the head. Press into those hands. Come back to the center. Pull down for a second. Press down, press down, press down. Come all the way up. And now drop down so the knee is totally and completely down on the ground. Back toes untuck. Lifting up through the top of the head. And now coming into a gentle lunge. So as you come into your gentle lunge, it's not a drop forward aggressively. It's just a nice drop straight down, keeping that front knee and ankle in line. That front hip draws back. That back hip draws forward. Breathing. Watching those hips. Inhale, lift those arms. Exhale. Inhale, come back. Tuck those back toes. Keeping the arms up if you can. Press up. Wonderful. And then step forward. And step back. Step forward. One more time. Step back. Step forward. And shake it out. Two sides. So hands come to the hips to start. Shift your weight over and step that left leg back, or the leg you didn't just do, straight back. And set yourself up again. So front leg is straight. Try not to have that front knee bent just yet. And then notice, is it a day where you need to readjust those feet so you're a little bit wider in the back for your balance? Coming up on the back toes so the heel's off the ground. Drop straight down. And then come back up. And now reset however you need to, or make any adjustments you need to. Lift up, and then come back down. Up, and down. Not holding the breath. Drawing that front hip back, back hip forward. Noticing the difference from side to side. Maybe you don't remember what it felt like on the other side. That's okay. Keep going, nice and strong. Pressing into the feet, reaching out through the top of the head. Noticing your breath in your body. And then hold down. And as you hold down, tuck that tailbone under slightly. And then watch what's happening through that front leg. Draw that front hip back. Knee and ankle are in line. Breathe here. Nice, strong breath. Drawing those inner thighs towards each other. If I gave you a block to hold in between the legs, could you? Now stand up. And drop back down. Hold for a second. And drop all the way down. Those back toes, the top of the foot comes to the floor. Lift up nice and tall. And moving into that gentle lunge. So it might not be very much movement, but you really want to watch that your knee is not overextending past that ankle, that it is a straight drop down. Can wiggle that front foot around if you need to. And then watch that your hips, that back hip is forward, that front hip goes back. Breathing. Tucking those back toes, bringing your hands in together at heart center. Breathe. And then pressing up. And then arms come all the way up. Breathe here and step forward. And step back. Forward. And back. And one last time, back. Forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, forward fold. And shake those legs out. Really let them release. Hands come down to the ground. Knees bend. Keeping those hands about shoulder width apart. Wrists, elbows are in line. And then just wiggle those hips around and make sure that those knees are straight underneath the hips and that your knees feel comfortable. From here, draw those shoulder blades together and then press them apart, making them nice and wide. So it's not a whole back movement where everything's going up and down. It's just that shoulder movement. Draw the shoulder blades together, move them nice and wide apart. So keep doing that, but the shoulder movement is here to here. Draw them together, move them apart. Not here. It's that draw together, move apart. Couple more times, really warming, finding that movement in the shoulder blades. We'll come back to it in a second. And then tuck those toes underneath and then sit back on the heels. And then just start flicking the hands, closing the fists, opening them, and then take it out to the side. Open it up. Forward, open, up. Forward, open, up. Forward, open, up. Hold. Forward, out, up. Forward, out, up. Focusing on the hands, not the feet. Keep those hands going just a little bit longer. Smiling, looking excited. Keep going a little bit longer. Really flick those fingers. And then pause, arms up. Draw the shoulders down out of the ears. Keep those hands, include the thumbs, and stop and relax. Take the hands back down to the ground. Step back with one foot, back with the other foot. Options are knees come down, toes stay on the ground, or toes come off depending on how your knees feel. Okay. Otherwise, full plank. Breathing here. Top of the head in line with the rest of the spine. Butt's not up, belly's not dropping. See if you can find somewhere right in the middle. The head doesn't drop. It's a lot of extra weight for the rest of your body to pick up and for those shoulders to hold. Nice and strong. Breathing. Pressing the weight back into the heels, pressing into the hands. Nice strong breath. And knees drop down. Toes point back, coming all the way back. into child's pose. All right, coming back up. Do one more plank for now. So set yourself back up. Wrists, elbows, shoulders in line. Moving those feet back, and then watch. Could you take your feet a little wider apart and press back into the heels and see how that changed your plank for you? Maybe it felt better for your legs to be together, and then move them back there. Okay? Just noticing. Press into the hands. Draw those shoulders down and apart. Press through the heels, sending the weight back. Take a nice big deep breath in. Nice big deep breath out. One more. Nice big deep breath in. And exhale. Knees come down. Toes point back. This time, take the knees really nice and wide apart, coming into that wide leg stretch. Breathe. Keeping down in that wide leg child's pose, start to walk your hands over to the right side, keeping your ears in between the arms, so allowing the head to be an extension of the spine. Thinking about pressing down through that opposite sit bone, and then coming back to center, and then walking all the way over to the other side. Press into the hands, pressing through that opposite sit bone, coming back to the center, walking yourself all the way up, drawing the knees together, toes tuck, and then pause here. So hanging out here for just a second, I'm going to demo something really quick, and then we're going to do it all together. Hands move nice and wide apart, so they're wider than my mat is right now. I'm going to walk my knees back so I can have a completely long torso all the way from the back of the knees to the top of my head. For my knees, it feels better when my toes lift off the ground, but it might feel better for you to have your feet, the tops of your feet, down on the floor. Taking a breath in, lengthening through the top of the head, elbows bend out to the side as you lower down, and then press straight back up. Option one. Option two, legs are straight, elbows draw out to the side, and you lower down. Come back up. Knees tuck, toes point back, and rest. So take a second, set yourself up wherever that is comfortable for you. I'm going to count to 10, and 10 for real this time because you guys are here to distract me. So I will count to 10, and you can do any number between 0 and 10 of those, okay? So everybody ready, smiling, looking all kinds of excited. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Coming up, knees bend, toes point back. You decide if it's child's pose, a downward dog. How will it feel the best for you to release that low back? And then coming up to a comfortable seated position. If you can, just sit straight up on the heels. Sit straight up on the heels. If that's uncomfortable for the knees, find somewhere that's comfortable for you. Take a breath in, open those arms up nice and wide. Exhale, give yourself a hug, and then shake it out. And then open, and then switch. All right, and let that down. We're gonna do 5 more of those. So smile, and you can decide whether you do 5 more of those, or whether you ignore me and go grab a cup of coffee in the next couple minutes here, and then come join us when we're done with the push-up. Okay, so set yourself back up again, really watching that shoulder movement, especially as we get tired and move towards the end of our practice. So You decide, and don't feel that you have to do the same thing you did last time. If you did straight legs last time, or if you had your knees bent, you can change it up. So you decide where you're at today, and then move there. Take a breath in, lengthen through the top of the head. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Press up, hold for a second, and slowly lower yourself down onto your belly. Take your hands, stack them one on top of the other, and rest your forehead down on your hands. I'm not going to keep my head tucked or you will never hear me. So don't want to do what I say though. And then bend the knees and just allow the feet to drop from side to side. Okay? With the head down, just allow gentle movement in the head, allowing it to drop side to side with the legs. And then pause that movement. Lower the legs down and stretch the arms out. I'm going to shift back on my mat, hold up. All right. Move the arms so they're just slightly wider than shoulder height or shoulder width. Okay, so you're looking for a little bit of a V shape. If you do have neck and shoulder problems, you're going to want them a little bit even wider than that so it looks more like this. Okay, chin tucks in towards the chest, and then forehead, nose, chin, and chest lift off the ground. Pressing into the hands, could you lift one leg? Lower it down. Lift the other leg. Lower it down. Could you lift both legs? Pressing into the hands. Lower it down. Lift the one arm. Lower it down. Lift the other arm. Lower it down. Lift both arms. Lower it down. Stack one hand on top of the other. Forehead rests down. And then release the back however feels good for you. Windshield wipering the legs from side to side, or maybe it's pigeon toeing feet together. Coming back up into that wide arm, straight leg position. Take a breath in. Could you lift opposite arm and leg and switch? Good, now you've tried it. So if you know that that's where you're at today, keep with that. Otherwise, lift your legs, lift your arms, and could you add that alternate movement? So it looks like you're swimming. You look ridiculous, but it's fun and it's good for you. And it's a safer back bend or a safe-ish back. So keep going. And a little faster. And pause, hold up. Take the arms back. Move them forward. Stack one hand on top of the other and relax down. So you decide how you release that back. And one last thing here. So your options are to do exactly what you just did, or I'm going to demo what we're going to go into. So if you want to, you can help yourself up onto your elbows and just turn and look at your computer screen for a whole couple seconds. You're going to lift your leg, lift your arms. We'll do a couple of these, moving in and out. Knees will bend. Arms will reach back, and you might grab your heels. And then you can lift up. Okay? So if you do not like that option, and you were really much happier with what we were just doing, do that instead. Otherwise, we'll walk through that sequence together, okay? So take a nice big deep breath in, nice big deep breath out, and inhale to come up. Everything lifts. Open the legs, open the arms, really nice and wide. Draw everything together, open it out. Draw it in, out, in, out, in. Hold up, knees bend, heels flex, arms move back towards the ankles. Take a breath here, and as you exhale, press up. And maybe you can rock. It's always a good test to see where your breath is coming from, making sure you're not holding the breath. Pause here. Slowly. Don't let go of the ankles. You'll kick something over in your living room and it won't be funny. And then let the feet go. Let the arms go. Head rest down and then windshield wiper those legs from side to side. Letting the feet come down. Roll over to one side for a second. Bring your knees towards the chest and then help yourself up into a nice comfortable seated position. Lift the arms. And then you decide today, we're moving into Navasana. So for those of you who know what it is, love it or hate it, we're moving there. For those of you who haven't done it yet or haven't done it before, have a couple options. You can do heels on the ground, one foot up, or full pose, both feet up. You can have your hands on the back of the knees or your arms out to the side. Okay? We'll hold this for 5 breaths and then come down and get ready for our Shavasana. Okay? So only one today, guys. Lucky you. Take a nice big deep breath in and up we go. Breathing here. Nice strong breath. Lift up through the chest. Reach through the hands. Could you draw the legs in a little bit higher? Reach through the toes. Breathing. Could you reach your right arm across to the left side of your body? And switch. And come back to the center. Lower the heels. Lift up through the chest. And drop your right knee right and your left knee left. And relax forward. Inhale. Come up. Finding your way onto your back, however is comfortable and easy for you. If you want to do a slow lower down, you can. And then once you get down onto your back, bring your knees up and towards the chest. Rock from side to side. Place the footstools down on the mat. And just allow a gentle twist for you. So maybe it's dropping the knees from side to side, gaze going opposite directions. Just noticing. And then pause. And moving into a place where you feel comfortable, where you can rest in stillness for a few moments. Once you've found that position, just wiggle the feet a little bit, wiggle the fingers. Take a nice big deep breath in and tighten everything in the body as tight as possible. And exhale. Relax. Just the breath this time. Take a big deep breath in. Exhale and relax. The body is completely supported by the ground beneath you. Is calm and easy. The mind is still and quiet. Finding your way back up into a nice, comfortable, seated position. Once you've found your way there, take a big deep breath in, lift those arms all the way up. Draw the palms together as you bring them into your heart center. Pausing for a moment of gratitude. Being grateful for this time you've given yourself this morning. Grateful for all we're fortunate enough to have and not have. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Namaste.